Anambra State Assembly tax PPSSC on transparent financial records. AIRS seals businesses at Obosi over tax evasion. President Tinubu administration phases out fuel subsidy regime as a few queues resurface in parts of Nigeria. And on the foreign scene, drones hit Moscow, Kyiv as the Russian-Ukraine war intensifies. Before the news in detail, here is a special message. Governor Chukwuba Soludo has come for a total turnaround, maintenance of the Anambra State economy and the promotion of core Igbo values. Let's give him maximum support for the task ahead. Good evening and welcome to the news. My name is Chidimma Orangwa. Anambra State House of Assembly Committee on Education has charged the management of Percy Primary School Service Commission to always find their financial records straight to encourage accountability and transparency. House of Assembly correspondent Chukwemeka Modelim reports that the committee made the call when it embarked on oversight visit at headquarters of the commission in Awka. Speaking during the meeting, the chairman of the committee, Honorable Ejike Okechukwu, disclosed that Section 129 of the 1999 Constitution, as amended, empowered them to carry out oversight function to all ministries, departments and agencies with the intent to encourage transparency, unravel incompetence, corrupt practices, among others. He gave an assurance that their findings about the commission will form part of the report they will present to Anambra State House of Assembly during plenary. The committee also took a holistic look into the programs of the committee with regards to 2023 fiscal year, while the Acting Director of Accounts Department, Post Primary School Service Commission, Mrs. Obi Elechi, took time to explain their expenditures, which the committee adjudged as satisfactory. In a vote of thanks, the Secretary of the Commission, Mrs. Bernadine Anago, described the visit as very educative and commended the committee for discharging their duties creditably. Later, the committee visited the Anambra State Universal Basic Education Board at their headquarters in Awka and assessed the level of performance for the year 2023. In her speech, the chairman of the board, Dr. Vera Nwadinobi, listed their achievements to include training of 5,000 teachers employed for public schools, introduction of skills acquisition programs for pupils and students in primary and secondary schools in Anambra State, curbing corrupt practices among some staff of the board, among others. Anambra State Internal Revenue Service, Dr. Christian Madubuko, says they will stop at nothing in ongoing efforts to rid the state of illegal collectors and touts. Correspondent Amaka Chibuzokoye filed this report, taken from her.
Dr. Madubuko stated this shortly after he led the enforcement team of the service to seal off some companies and guest houses in Awado Obosi and environs over tax evasion, as well arrest some illegal revenue collectors at Opiweka, Onitsha. He expressed shock that people entrusted with responsibilities of generating revenue for the state will be turned around to siphon the money. He regretted that those apprehended said they were assigned to do the work by some agent officials. Dr. Madubuko hinted that the state government has not authorized anybody or revenue heads to move on revenue collection, stating that the agency is working assiduously to ensure that revenue for the state is collected in a professional way.
The state government has not authorized anybody to collect revenue from any part of the state. Some revenue heads have been shut down by the government of Chukwuma Soludo, and we are working around the clock to put things in shape to ensure that in no distant time we will begin to collect that revenue in a professional way.
When interviewed after their apprehension, two revenue suspects, Mr. Adimchukwu Onyema and Emeka Ojukwu, agreed that they are into revenue collection, but said they were doing it for some officials of agents who they pay between 30 to 40,000 naira daily.
The meeting organized by Nimo Town
The Nemo Town Hall meeting over the plotting and sale of our land has ended in a stalemate. Queen Anibogo reports that the town hall meeting held at the Civic Center, Nemo, in Njikoka local government area attracted people from the four quarters that make up the community, as well as those in diaspora who joined the meeting through Zoom. Her report.
By Nemo Town Development Union commenced with prayers, followed by breaking of kola nut by the traditional ruler of the town, Igwe Masmos Oliobi. In his opening remark, Igwe Oliobi explained that every indigene of Nemo has the interests of the town at heart and encouraged those who attended to make constructive contributions to the meeting. In his comment, the President General of Nemo Town Development Union, Chief Ekenenna Okafo Omabu, said the essence of the town hall meeting was for people of the community as brothers to rub minds together for the progress of the town. He advised the people to always attend meetings to enable them contribute to the good of the community, even as he asked the people to shun violence and use dialogue and peaceful processes in resolving communal issues. The traditional Prime Minister of the town, retired Justice Godwin Ononiba, gave a brief history of our land, which he said Nemo community acquired through conquest in 1936. He said the Nemo Town Development Union is the highest decision-making body in Nemo, and any decision they make is binding on every Nemo indigene, and thanked the organizers of the meeting. In a presentation on our land, facts, figures, next steps, a former Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice in Anambra State, Mr. Peter Afuba San, explained at length the design, plotting, and sale of the land, noting that the sale of the land was done on the directive of Nemo community and for the best interest of the town. However, a one-time elected officer of the town, Dr. Valentine Oliobi, who claimed he was speaking on behalf of the majority of Nemo people, asked the Nemo Town Development Union to stop further sale of the land and insisted that they should abide by the 2008 agreement of the community concerning the sale of land in Nemo Town. He condemned the way and manner the land was sold so far, depriving the owners of their farmlands without due compensation. Queen Anibogo, ABS News.
The Tinubu administration has supported the decision of the outgoing administration in phasing out the petrol subsidy regime, which has increasingly favored the rich more than the poor. The new president said in his inaugural address that subsidy can no longer justify its ever-increasing cost in the wake of drying resources, hence his decision to rechannel the funds into better investment in public infrastructure, education, healthcare, and jobs that will materially improve the lives of millions. He also said monetary policy needs through house cleaning, whereby the central bank must work towards a unified exchange rate, and thus will direct funds away from arbitrage into meaningful investment in the plant, equipment and jobs that power the real economy. Interest rates need to be reduced to increase investment and consumer purchasing in ways that sustain the economy at a higher level. On foreign policy, President Tinubu said that the crisis in Sudan and the turn from democracy by several nations in our immediate neighborhood are of pressing concern. He explained that as such, his primary foreign policy objective must be the peace and stability of the West African sub-region and the African continent, and he will work with ECOWAS, the AU, and the willing partners in the international community to end the extant conflict and to resolve new ones. President Tinubu further said, as it contains a threat to peace, shall also retool our foreign policy to more actively lead the regional and continental quest for collective prosperity. Few queues have resurfaced in Abuja following announcements by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's speech that petroleum subsidy is gone. The Nigerian petrol operators had responded to the immediate removal of subsidy on petrol with a sharp hike in pump price, and some of them simply shut their filling stations, thereby leaving consumers with little or no option than to crowd the petrol stations. As at the time of filing this report, pump price of fuel in FCT stands at 350 naira per litre, which led to commercial transporters also hiking their transport fares across the city. In response to the development, some commuters who were stranded at various bus stops lamented the suffering they have been through following the announcement. Mr. Joshua Chiroma wondered why the new administration would start by punishing the already depressed, impoverished and angry Nigerians after so much suffering inflicted by the outgone administration of President Muhammadu Buhari. Ms. Stella Dew prayed that God should touch the president to reverse his stance so as to save Nigerians for what she termed another round of economic and mental torture. Mr. Thompson Gibia, however, had a contrary view as he says the subsidy removal is an end to corruption in high places and things will soon normalize once Nigerians adapt to the changes. He commended the president for having the courage to do what others had been afraid of doing, saying that the masses will be better off without the subsidy, which he said can be used for other things to better the lot of the common man. The Russian capital and its surrounding areas have been targeted by rare drone attacks which injured 2 people and caused minor damage to buildings, officials said. A security guard points at a multi-story apartment building after a reported drone attack in Moscow. Moscow says it shot down all the drones approaching Moscow in an attack blamed on Kyiv. A Ukrainian official has reportedly denied involvement. At least 1 person was killed in Kyiv as Russia launched a pre-dawn attack on the Ukrainian capital, Moscow's 17th air assault on the city this month. President Volodymyr Zelensky says Ukraine desperately hopes that South Korea will provide military equipment such as anti-aircraft systems, according to the interview with a South Korean newspaper. Over now to sports. Nigeria's Flying Eagles missed their official training session on Sunday after the team's arrival in San Juan was delayed by Argentine airport officials. The team was expected to train at the Estadio San Juan Duel Bicentenario on Monday night. The training session was, however, called off after their flight from Buenos Aires to San Juan was delayed for several hours. The Flying Eagles will train at the stadium today. And that's just about it on the news. But before we go, a quick reminder that you can follow news and programs on ABS from any part of the world by liking our Facebook page at Anambra Broadcasting Service. Subscribe to our YouTube page at ABS Television Orca. Follow us on Twitter at ABS Radio TV and on Instagram at ABS Radio TV. You can also log on to our website at www.absradiotv.com. And now the main points again. Anambra State Assembly has taxed PPSSC on transparent financial records. AIRS has sealed businesses at Obosi over tax evasion. President Tinubu administration has phased out fuel subsidy regime as fuel queues resurface in parts of Nigeria. And on the foreign scene, we also told you that drones have hit Moscow, Kyiv as Russia-Ukraine war intensifies. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and the promotion of core Igbo values. Let's give him maximum support for the task ahead. And that's it on the news tonight. Many thanks for joining us. My name is Chidimma Oranwa. Good night.